Good morning, dear brothers and sisters. Today we will see the book of Deuteronomy chapters 31 and 32. Deuteronomy chapter 31, Moses' final encouragement. In this chapter, Moses, the leader of the Israelites, prepares to pass on his leadership to Joshua. He is now 120 years old, and the Lord tells him that he will not cross over the Jordan River into the Promised Land. Despite this, Moses assures the people that God will be with them and will lead them into the land. Moses encourages Joshua, who will now take charge of leading the Israelites, to be strong and courageous, knowing that God is with him. He reminds Joshua that God is faithful and will never abandon his people. Furthermore, Moses writes down the words of the law and gives them to the Levitical priests, instructing them to read them to the people every 7 years during the Feast of Tabernacles. This is to ensure that the people always remember God's commands and follow them faithfully. The Lord also reveals to Moses that after his death, the people will turn away from him and break the covenant. God warns that they will face hardships and calamities as a consequence of their disobedience. However, he also promises that when they return to him with sincere repentance, he will show them mercy and restore their blessings. Moses gathers the people together and recites a song as a testimony against them, foretelling their future disobedience. He urges them to take to heart the words of the song and to teach it to their children, so they may remember their history and relationship with God. In conclusion, Moses encourages the people once more to be strong and courageous, for the Lord goes before them and will never forsake them. He entrusts Joshua with the responsibility of leading the people and reminds them of God's steadfast love and faithfulness throughout their journey. Dear brothers and sisters, let us learn from Moses' words and remember God's promises in our lives. May we be strong and courageous, trusting in the Lord's guidance and never forgetting his commands. Deuteronomy chapter 32, the Song of Moses. In this chapter, Moses shares a powerful song with the Israelites, expressing God's faithfulness and warning them of the consequences of turning away from him. Moses begins by calling on the heavens and earth to listen as he proclaims the greatness of God. He acknowledges that God is perfect and just, and there is no one like him. Moses recounts how God chose Israel as his own people and led them through the wilderness, protecting and providing for them like a caring shepherd. However, Moses also highlights the unfaithfulness of the Israelites. He describes how they turned away from God and followed idols, provoking his anger and jealousy. As a result of their rebellion, God allowed them to face hardship and calamity. Yet, despite their disobedience, Moses reminds the people of God's mercy and love. He affirms that God is a God of justice and will eventually vindicate his people and take vengeance on their enemies. Moses concludes his song by urging the Israelites to take these words to heart and to remember the Lord's teachings. He emphasizes that following God's ways leads to life and blessings while turning away from him leads to destruction. As Moses finishes singing, he encourages the people to rejoice in their relationship with the Lord and to trust in his guidance and protection. He reminds them that God is their rock and salvation, and they should place their hope in him alone. Dear brothers and sisters, let us also heed the words of this song and remember God's faithfulness and love. May we stay faithful to him and walk in his ways, knowing that he is our strength and our shield in every circumstance. Dear brothers and sisters, we will continue the next chapter of Deuteronomy in the next video. God bless you.